Hey everybody, well as you know, the Jets offensive line put on a heck of a performance Sunday in a big win over the Broncos. The Jets were able to snap a 3-game losing streak and begin their 3-game homestand here with a much needed victory. So the question for this offensive line becomes, how sustainable is that performance? Obviously from a numeric standpoint, rushing for 323 yards every week is darn near impossible. So yeah, that's not going to happen every week. But the Jets were able to get a fantastic push against the Broncos' strong defensive front, just one time sacked for Sam Darnold. And going forward here in the rest of this homestand, the Jets will have an advantage, obviously. Brandon Shell mentioned this, the right tackle. Brandon Shell mentioned this last week, that when you're at home, you don't have to go on a silent count. When you're on the road, you have to peripherally look at the ball as the center snaps it in order to know when the ball is going to be snapped. So obviously that puts the offensive line at a disadvantage when it comes to pass protection. So the Jets should presumably have an advantage here, but they're playing two fairly strong pass rushes the next couple weeks here. The Colts are 6th currently in sack percentage, even though they've struggled to a 1-4 start, and the Vikings 7th in sack percentage. Against the run, not quite as effective. The Colts 19th against the run, and the Vikings 13th in the league currently against the run. So interesting test coming up here for the Jets in terms of pass protection against the Colts and Vikings. But if they can establish a running game like they were able to do, even to some level of success against the Broncos, then that will bode very well for them. Keep the defense off guard, let the offensive line remain aggressive, something the Jets were not able to do in Jacksonville. They were able to establish against the Broncos a running game very early on, early success by Isaiah Crowell, and that really helped loosen things up for Sam Darnold, provide him with enough time in the pocket to make some of those deep throws. So this Jets offensive line struggled mightily last year, of course, as we know. Wesley Johnson was a terrible center. Brian Winters played with an injury. Johnson gone now. Spencer Long in. Brian Winters healthy. So there is a chance that this line could build on this performance against the Broncos. But let's wait and see, because the Jets offensive line pushed the Lions around in week 1 and really seemed to regress a little bit in the next couple of weeks against the Dolphins and the Browns and the Jaguars. So let's see if this actually is sustainable going forward, but a couple stern tests coming up with the Colts and Vikings in terms of the pass rush, and the fact that the Jets are home should help, at least. So we'll see what happens.